Here you have the little bicolor RGB light from NEEWER. As you can see, it says NEEWER right there. And the light is quite small. I put my phone here, which is a 6.3-inch screen, just to give you a reference of the size. You can see it's probably about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 inches tall, that kind of thing, and maybe an inch and a half in diameter. It has two 1/4-20 mounts on each end for tripod mounting, which is very handy. And on the back side you have all the functions. This is the power button right here. You just hold that down for a few seconds, and as you can see, it turns right on. At the moment I have it set for 5,000 Kelvin on the color temperature scale. To cycle through that, you press the M button. Well, first of all, as you can see right now, there's an arrow pointed next to 50%, which is what I have it set at. You can click it one at a time and go down a percentile at a time, or you can hold it down for a few seconds and then it'll go down rapidly. And conversely, obviously, if you do that the other way, it'll go up rapidly. To change between the modes, you see you click the M button and that takes you to the color temperature. So now you can adjust the color temperature as you wish, make it warmer or whiter as you desire, and then you switch it over to this area here and press the power button and it'll begin to cycle through the other functions. Now I have it on the bicolor, and then of course you have that effects mode. So this is now on lightning, it says right here. So you could switch that to, let's see, what else have we got here? Party, fireworks, TV screen, loop, INT loop, intermittent loop I imagine that is, so probably goes through all the colors, CCT loop, hue loop, and so on. So let's switch back to the normal stuff. So here we have it again on the color temperature stuff, or if you want you could press it again and you could be on the colors. If you want to switch to hue, you can go to, or the saturation rather, let's start with that. You go next to where it says S, and obviously here you can hold the button down and it'll cycle between how saturated the yellow comes out, say in this particular example, because I have it set on yellow. Obviously you press the mode again, that'll increase your intensity. Anywhere that the arrow appears next to, obviously that's the setting that you have it currently on. And here's hue, so if you hold that down and you see, it'll start to cycle through different hues, you know, red hues and then purple and blue and so on, as you would normally find in these kinds of RGB lights. The light is fairly bright. It's obviously small. It's a good accent light, a good fill light, that kind of thing. You know, the kind of thing that maybe if you don't want to have a big light in your bag you'd take with you, you know, just in case if you're filming in a dark circumstance and you need some extra lighting, this would be a great option for you. You have USB-C charging here. The screen is a nice white on black LCD display, I believe, or LED display. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but it's, you know, your typical one that you'd find on a lot of these types of lights. Very visible. Really nice looking, easy to navigate. I mean, I didn't read the manual, to tell you the truth. I didn't think I had to, and within 1 second I was able to figure out how to use it. So power button again will cycle between different settings. So again, here we are on the regular lights, so I have it set at 3900 color temperature, 3900 Kelvin. Let's go back up and you can see, let's do the extremes. It goes all the way to, oh, that goes pretty high. That's higher than I thought. It goes up to 8500, so that's obviously a very white light bordering on blue at this point. And it goes all the way down to probably about 2700 will be my guess. Let's see. 2500. So it goes all the way down to 2500. So you have a good range of color temperatures, that's for sure, you know. And again, it's nice, small, portable, great little light from NEEWER. Construction is all made of plastic. You obviously have this plastic diffuser on the front side, so yeah, not too bad at all. I like it. I like the fact that it's small and portable, and it's an excellent little light to have as extra in the bag, you know, something that you'll require that doesn't have a big huge footprint.
This NEEWER TL20C RGB stick light, and if you happen to know about the newer lights, I just reviewed this one also, which is like the baby brother of it. This is the TL96 RGB. So this is the bigger brother, and it's not just physically larger in size. I'll go ahead and open it up. It's the first thing I noticed is that the processing is, or the onboard chip, I would say, that controls the switching of the lights is a lot faster. So here's what's inside the box. Move that off to the side. You get the instruction manual, of course, and see that there. USB-C to USB-A charging cable. Put that off to the side and focus on these two guys here. So this is the tripod, same one that comes in the baby brother box, and this is twice the size of the TL96 RGB. This is almost two of them in one. So let's take a look at this here. Like the smaller one, you have the four controls: USB-C charging, the LCD display, power on, and you have the display readout. So to control modes, you move in between by switching, and you can see where the arrow jumps to. That's the control. So that's the percentage of power it's delivering right now. This button right here controls the output, and then this one will move to the mode. So I will show you this. I'll turn off this overhead light here so you can see what color we're on, and this one will switch through the range of colors. Now, what I was talking about earlier about this is moving like 10 times faster than the 1% increments on the smaller one. So that's what I was talking about, the speed that you can switch through the colors here. And that follows through all the modes. The nice thing about this, though, I noticed, when you switch the percentage power and you power off the device and come back, it does seem to remember where you were last based on the mode. So I'll switch to the modes real quick. And that's the power percentage, the color hue here. So we'll just switch to another color so you can see the difference. And then the degree of saturation. I wouldn't personally change the saturation. It gets closer to white the more you reduce it. And you already have the other modes where you can simulate white lights in different color temperatures. I would always personally leave this saturation up, but that's just the use case scenario. So switching between the different modes here, let's bring it over to this mode. And so these are the candle simulation modes, and these are just the different effects. I like that it does remember. I set it at 25% earlier because these are super bright in a dark room. Loop, and these are all the different screen modes and different effects they have. TV screen to simulate flickering of a screen, fireworks, I guess. Kind of circles through all the colors. Party mode. Lightning effect. Paparazzi. I guess the autofocus just dropped out. Sorry about that. Bulb. Explosion. Um, just keep in mind, even while I was testing some of these modes, the high flickering, just if you're sensitive to light flashing, you may want to avoid these modes or at least point it away from you. But they do what they say. The cop car effect is really cool. I'm on 25%. This is ultra bright right now in this room. And yeah, so just wanted to show you the lights. And I mentioned this in the other video as well, but these are, let me turn back on this overhead light. These are magnetic. So they do stick to metal objects on all sides. On this side here, on this end, being that this is longer, I wouldn't mount it. It probably won't stay. But on the long end, it certainly will stay. Off camera, you have a metal bar, but that's it. That's the newer TL20C light. Pretty cool from NEEWER.
When you get this thing, it's a very heavy package, and you think, wow, I mean, there's a lot of battery in that. But you realize it is the manual, the tripod hand grip thing. The light itself is pretty light. Light. Let's see. Just basic plastic. You got a 1/4-20 on both ends, so you can daisy chain these, I think. And there's your charge port, power port. I tried this, and the navigation is. It might be best to use an app on. I don't use apps. I just have too many different kinds of lights. But this one seems better served using an app for control if you're changing a lot. So. We're going to use the power button short presses to change modes, and then whatever you're on, the arrow will indicate whatever you're on. So there's not a way to really fly through this if you wanted to get to the other end of the scale. You just have to hold it, and even then, when it proceeds, it's not terribly fast. So patience is in order here, and use this to change what item that you're controlling. So I'm on green magenta calibration there. Now I'm at intensity 28. We'll just see what how it handles like 1%. Yeah, it works pretty well. And let's see what 100 looks like. All right, give you an idea. Not terribly bright. So we'll change mode, hue, saturation, intensity. Same controls. We're in intensity now. I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to go to the hue angle, and we'll just zip through the full 360 degrees. Works fine. So let's try saturation. There you go, that works fine. And we got effects I don't really use that much at all. Fireworks, TV screen. So it's just going to change intensity once in a while. You know, all that stuff. So that's that. seems durable enough. Got that grip is not great. Let me turn this off. Make it easier to see. This grip is not great. You're going to find yourself, if you go without a grip, that holding it like this. They put some texture on it, but it's up here, and I don't know. This would be better if it flared out a little, so that your fingers didn't slip off of it.
It's LED, obviously, but it's not like a pleasant thing to look directly at. But this is a fine light. You do have 1% to 100. Let's probably show you what that looks like at 1%, just so you can see how low it can get. Oop. It's pretty dim. And you have your green or magenta to shift the hue a little bit, but you can also change color temperature, which is the Kelvin range. So you can go to warmer temperatures down to 2500 Kelvin and increase it in increments of 100 Kelvin. But let's go to the actual colors, so you can switch to the hue, saturation, intensity mode. It's supposed to be a deeper blue. And now I'm just going to cycle through the colors. It goes back to 360 at the end, which is red. And it's been 100% saturation the whole time, but now I'll just show you what is supposed to be a light pink. And it does look like a light pink. And then, of course, you can go back up to 100 to get the red. So warning, I'm going to show you the effects. There could be flashing lights here. In fact, most of the effects are flashing lights. I'm going to speed it up just so you can see all of them. Starting with party, then onto the fireworks, right into a flickering TV screen, which then goes into a intensity loop, so the color intensity is going to loop through, and then a CCT loop, so the color temperature is going to be looping, right into a hue loop, which, you guessed it, the hues or the colors loop through. Then onto our candle, and then cop car, flashing blue lights, and then you got your hue pulses, which is a color pulse, or a CCT pulse, which is a color temperature pulse, and then you got your flashes, CCTs and colors, hues and CCTs. And just in case you wanted any more variations on flashing lights, you get welding, and then explosions, but also a flickering bulb, and then right into the paparazzi flash, which looks like a camera flash to me, or lightning, which is actually quite impressive. And that's it for effects, because we're back at the start, which was the party effect. So, I think this is pretty cool overall. The build quality for me is a little bit too plasticky, but it does come with all the essentials that I would expect. I like that it comes with a tripod, I like that it has a magnetic back, even if the magnets are a bit weak, and I do like that it has all the color controls and a little bit of app control as well. So, hope this helps.
Alright, today I'm here to show you this newer RGB light. It also has AW amber white. It's pretty great for such a small light. It outputs a lot of power and has a lot of options. Okay, first of all, let's go ahead and turn it on. Hold down on that button. So you get access to an LED screen. You can see right now I have it at 5600. The color looks right. You can see a little arrow points to it. Let's see. There's 4 control buttons on the back. Right there. You can go up, down. You can dial in to the Kelvin, the exact color you want, which is great. 4300, and then also, you can dial it in by the hundredths, so you can really get the color you want. Then there's some other modes. Let's go here. This will lock that and switch the mode. And then switch the mode here. This is your brightness or dimmer control. Press the on switch. Tap it. Now we're in the HSI mode. So you tap it again. Now we're in the effects mode. There's a bunch of different effects. There could be more, but the effects that are here are pretty good. Let's see what we got here. We got party. We gotta switch it into the mode. Okay, party, fireworks, TV screen, lamp, another lamp, candle, that's a good one. And fireplace would also be good. Cop car, always good to have. Pulse, flash, a bunch of other effects. Anyhow, whoa, welding. Yeah, that's a new one, welding, explosion, bulb, paparazzi, lightning, always good to have lightning. Back to party, and let's switch back. So, all right, let's shut off. All in all, great light. Has a little quarter mount Comes with this really nice mini stand with the quarter screw on top. That's a cover. And there's also another version of this with app control, and I'll be reviewing that one later.
Welcome to my review for this little stick light from NEEWER. Can recharge it, 5 volt. This is USB-C. I like this type of connection. They're the best now. Easy to operate. 1/4 inch screw hole. One here on the top and at the bottom. So we'll close it. Long press. Okay. Long press again on the power button. You can change the mode, and you see you have the small screen here with the information. So now this is fireworks. So you have effects. You can navigate with the arrow up and down. Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, oh, there's a lot. Come on. So 20 effect that I've seen here. Mode. This is the white light. You can change the brightness. You can press the power button here. We'll be able to change the light temperature. But I like these little light for the color they can add to have some ambience, creative video, like they say. It's a nice product. It's small, it's light. You could put it in your pocket and just take a walk with it. No, you just bring it to where you're gonna do your video. And there seems to be a magnet. I don't want to put that on my computer. I have metal. Oh, okay, there's a magnet here. So this is a real nice light. The price is okay, but you're getting some RGB color and some effect that you will be using in creative video. Why not? Look at that. Huh? You see the magic I'm creating? This is incredible. So I really like it. I like to have many. I have others. This will be added to my kit that I can create ambience and do video. But this is the smallest I have, and I like the format. NEEWER, good product, good price. Let's start creating now. Bye-bye.
This is a small, hand-sized RGB tube-ish sort of light wand. I don't know how to describe this. It's relatively plasticky. On the outside you have a 1/4 mount on one end, another 1/4 mount on the other end, and it is magnetic. It's not a super strong magnet, it is actually quite weak, but it's enough to hold the weight of the item. So it doesn't smack on like some items do. The menu is really confusing. So if I turn it on, there's got 4 buttons, right? Power, mode, up and down to cycle through them. Now, so I'm in CCT mode, right? So in CCT mode, if I push the mode button, it will cycle to the color temperature. Got green, magenta, shift, and I go back. If I long press the mode button, you'd expect it maybe to change mode. It doesn't. That's for the Bluetooth. So instead, you have to push the power button, single press, to cycle through the modes and to get to HSL mode, or HSI mode in this case. So again, cycle through. If I want to change mode, I quick press the power button to change. So we've got FX, and that's it. So CCT, HSI, and FX. Overall, it's okay. I mean, it's not the most powerful thing in the world. It is tiny. It's 4.5 watts. In the box, you don't get a great deal of accessories. You get a charger, and that's pretty much it. But I do like the handheldness of it. I do like the magnet. It's handy to snap it on places. So it just depends what you need, really.
If you're a NEEWER fan and you're in their lighting ecosystem, then this little light is like perfect for you, because this thing is like, I have the other light bars, the TL60 or TL40, and this can also connect to the app. So having this like little versatile, little tiny little light with mounts, it comes with this little stand, and being able to control with the NEEWER app, I can pretty much add this to the functionality of my other lights. You know, my 60, my panels, and my tubes. And having just a little light, I kind of want to get a couple more of these. For the price, these are great. I don't know if I think they sell them without the little tripod, but even this little tripod adds an immense value to this already pretty badass light. It's got magnets in it, so it'll stay where you want it. Nice build quality. It's not as tough and as durable as my other tubes, but this is smaller and it's much more affordable. So the fact that it just connects to the app as well is my favorite part. It's just more to the Swiss Army knife of my NEEWER lights, and being able to control everything through the app. And it does all the effects and everything that you've come to expect from NEEWER technology lights. So all your effects, your color, you know, your temperature, it's pretty good. And the battery life on this is pretty good too. For as small as it is, it doesn't, and how lightweight it is, doesn't feel like it has much of a battery. Now, I don't think it's getting as bright as some of the other lights, but it's pretty awesome.
And this is the NEEWER TL21C RGB stick light. See, the engineering is obvious right out of the box. Quality, materials, intuitive controls, and you have an extendable tripod that is easy to operate. Just pull these legs apart like this, It's kind of, I haven't zoomed in too much, but this extends a little bit. Really good engineered holders, clasps, and of course the light will go on the tripod like that. But more importantly than the well-engineered tripod, we have the intuitive controls. You simply press and hold the power button. You have LED feedback. You can adjust the intensity and the temperature of the light just simply by going through these controls. Very nicely done. And this light is very bright. USB rechargeable. There's the USB port, and they include the cable as well. This would be an excellent addition to your lighting kit. Very nicely done. I like it. The NEEWER TL21C.
and special modes that you can control from the buttons here on the back. Once you've turned it on, if you push the when it comes on, it's set in CCT mode, which allows you to change the color temperature. Pushing the button again will put it into HSI mode, and with that you can change the hue of the light and the intensity and the saturation. Pushing it again puts it into a special 17 different functions, special functions that it has. And you can also go through the various modes and functions using this button here. Now, there is also an app. I chose not to download the app because I figure I can control the light sufficiently with these buttons on the back. The app only had a 2.2 approval rating, and I just didn't want to load it onto my phone. But the light works very nicely, puts out good bright light, and is easy to use because of these buttons here. It has tripod mounting spots, top and bottom. This is a nice tripod slash handle. When you pull the tripod legs out, the tripod starts to extend a bit, and you find out that it goes out a long ways. The tripod goes out to about 21 inches tall, so that's nice. It's handy for a lot of uses. You could use it like a selfie stick too.
It's okay.
No, I'm just doing a little product video.
All right, I'm gonna go to my meeting.
All right then, great.
Use the bathroom real quick first. Sometimes they're clean, the other one. Looks like they're very clean.
There we go.
Una excelente compra si estás buscando algo portátil que puedes llevar a todos lados. Vean, súper bien, cómodo, alumbra, la verdad, alumbra bien. Si se dan cuenta, alumbra bastante bien. Súper mega recomendado. Y se puede manejar con Bluetooth. Con Bluetooth o desde una aplicación.